Welcome back everyone to my Let's Play of Dragon Quest V. We left off in Santa Rosa, which is very close to the Emblem Cave, where a pretty good piece of armor is said to exist. Actually, it's the best armor in the game for Bean. So, and speaking of armor, I forgot to equip Harriet with her princess robe. So, I'm gonna give her that princess robe. I'm gonna transfer her Staff of Benediction to Sancho, because Sancho is going to be joining us in the next dungeon. It'll be Bean, Cosmo, and Sancho. I'm taking Cosmo because Cosmo has the curse off spell, and on the first 2 floors of the dungeon, you can run into the devil masks that can curse you. So that would be the only way to get rid of that. And then I'm taking Sancho because he has the sleep and the beat spell, both of which would be effective on the bottom floor. And but in order to make him use them when I need them to, I'm going to be changing the tactics back to manual. So let's put Bean, Cosmo, and Sancho in the party. And then we'll use our flying carpet. We could take the Zenithian castle, but we could have gotten here earlier with the flying carpet, so I'll show you how to do that. Not that hard, you just follow the river up. And then we stop at the Emblem Cave. The Emblem Cave has this gimmick where basically that has a really high encounter rate, but you can stop the random encounters from occurring by covering these faces with a rock. So let's read the sign here. Let none move the stone. If we move the stone, then the monsters will appear. There's like a little face there, a monster face. As long as that face is uncovered, monsters will appear. But if we cover the face with the stone, well, then we won't have to worry about random encounters. So we're going to head on down. There's one face, and the stone is down to the south here. These moon faces are be really, really annoying. These are ones that we want to use Cosmo's stop spell on, and we want to use Sancho's sleep spell on. The moon faces basically cast the chance spell over and over again, and they can have some really, really bad effects on you. So you want to cast that stop spell to keep them from casting that, and then sleep to also put them to sleep in case the stop spell didn't hit one of them. So you get some good damage from everybody if Sancho uses his Spear of Zeus. Can do quite a bit of damage to the entire group. We'll pass that around to other characters, because Sancho's actually going to get another weapon in this cave. Now the weapon will be a little bit weaker. It'll be the Demon Hammer. But the interesting thing about the Demon Hammer is it has a chance to, a high chance to miss, but it also has a very high chance to critical hit. So I think it's like 1/3 a chance to critical hit, 1/3 chance to miss, and then 1/3 chance to just be a regular hit. So critical hit is really, really good against bosses and against like metal type enemies. The metal babbles, the metal slimes, metal kings. Metal slimes not so much now because even though they gave a good experience way back when, most regular enemies get as much experience as them now. They gave like 1,000 experience. But the metal babbles still give 10,000, and the king metals that we'll run into later on, they give 30,000. So this is the reason why we gave Sancho the Staff of Benediction. It allows him to be also a healer in this cave. So that staff will get passed around quite a bit as well, depending on party composition. So it just basically, like I said, gives you, whoever you give it to, an extra healer. So let's cover this face with this plate. Make the monsters disappear from this area. And we'll head on down. Got 2 more floors to go. Now you really only have to do it on the last floor, covering the monster faces, but if you really want to do full exploration of the cave, might as well do it for all the floors. But the main reason you have to do it on the final floor is because in order to get the royal cloak, which is Bean's best armor, you have to cover 4 different monster tiles. So the faces. So I'll push this down here into this corner here. Got another enemy, the Barbarossa. They can drop a leaf of the wall tree, which is annoying because that means they can also use the leaf of the wall tree in battle. So we'll see that actually happen here. After we defeat the Moonface, the Barbarossa will revive it with the leaf of the wall tree. So, could be annoying, but it's okay. Like I said, whenever we got a chance, we can use Sancho to heal now. Sancho can be a pretty decent healer later on in the game when we get the Sage's Stone. Sage's Stone casts the Heal Us spell, which is like heal more for the entire party. And since Sancho was guaranteed basically to go last, because he has really low agility and the armor that we gave him reduces his agility down to 0, he's always going to go last, so it's a good way to end. He'll heal up any damage that characters can do, or the enemy does. So now that we've stopped enemies from appearing on this floor, we can just get some treasure. This is our 30th small medal. Well, currently 30th. We had a bunch more because we got the Sword of Miracles. But now with 30 medals, we can get another sword, the Falcon Sword, and that'll be going to Pippin. An Elven Amulet. That reduces the chance of negative status effects from hitting your characters. So like sleep, stop spell, poison, curse. We'll eventually be able to buy a bunch of them. It stinks that you can't really buy them though until the last town in the game. Well, I mentioned in a previous video, they're kind of comparable to the Dragon's Bane in Dragon Quest II, but in that game, you can get them really early. So this is a unique floor where we have to actually get 4 of these stones to cover. And we have these really annoying enemies, the eater enemies. There's blue eaters and there's red eaters. And their body is red, but their head is blue, so they're blue eaters. And you'll notice that the red eaters, their body is blue, but their head is red. The problem with these guys is they hit really, 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 really hard. However, the one good thing is they are susceptible to the defeat spell. So we're going to have Sancho use his beat spell to take them out and snuff their life out. Right now he only has the beat spell. Eventually he'll get the defeat spell, which targets everybody. But has a little less accuracy, but keep healing up. Yeah, see that? 50 damage. And I mean, Bean has good armor, you know. The only armor you can get right now a little bit better would have been the flame armor at the fairy village. We are going to return to the fairy village after this cave, because we're going to get that new sword for Pippin, the Falcon Sword, and they're also going to want to get him some new armor that we missed in the fairy village because we couldn't afford it. Evil Masters are annoying because they can call for help. They can call additional Evil Masters, and they can also call the red and blue eaters. So we want to try to put them to sleep. That's why I said Sancho's pretty useful here. The sleep spell and the beat spell, both quite effective. Let me just finish these guys off. The red eaters, they kind of remind me of dragoons, because one of the things they can do from dragoons in Final Fantasy, because one of the things they can do is they leap high into the air and do extra damage. Where the blue eaters, they bite your neck. deal extra damage. Alright, finish those guys off. Push this one over here. I'm gonna have to let it go for a little bit because there's that one right above us that's blocking the way. And we have the red eaters there. It's red head but a blue body. Funny how they just don't make them all like one universal color. They make it easier. But let's take these guys out. Now the red eaters are a little bit easier. They have less hit points. So you might want to focus on them. Like I said, I want to try to get rid of that evil master. Because as long as there's a full thing on the screen, full group on the screen, he can't summon help. If he tries to, no one will appear because there's no more enemies. There's no more room for enemies. So yeah, it might mean that we're going to have to take some extra damage from the red and blue eaters, but at least we're not getting any more enemies to come help. So Cosmo has the heal all spell. Nice that he also has the meteorite armband. He's going to get the heal us spell pretty soon. That will cast, like, basically heal more on everybody in the party. Good for enemies that have those breath attacks. And now, I just spoke about Dragon Quest II a little earlier, and I'm having flashbacks to that with these Silver Devils. They were one of the enemies in Roan, the final area, outside of Hargron's castle, and that could use the beat spell. And in that game, beat was pretty accurate. You take out your entire party, and there's nothing you can do about it. That's why a lot of people think that game is kind of a little cheap, because at the end there, in Roan, you have enemies that can cast the beat spell, enemies that can cast the sacrifice spell. So you just gotta hope that the first time you're going through, that you manage to reach the final shrine where you can save your game. And if you do get beat or sacrificed, you'll be able to restart at that final shrine. You don't have to do that cave to Roan again. Goopies, they are not too hard individually, but the problem is they love to call for help. A lot of times they'll call extra goopies, but they can also call golems. So we want to try to damage them all. We'll use Cosmo's Zap spell, and Sancho will join in then with his Zeus's Spear. And hopefully we can take most of them out before they become a big problem. Yeah, if you're only taking out one or two at a time, the other ones are just going to keep calling friends. So best to use some multi-damaging spells. So we clear one tile, we have another stone right here, clear the second one. The third one we left down to the south. We'll go grab that one, and then the fourth plate is over in the room to the left. On the previous floor there was a staircase in the upper left that I didn't go down. That just leads to a dead end, and you'll see when we grab the fourth plate that room that it would have taken us to. Now there's a clue over to the right, the far right room, that basically says to wear my cloak you have to cover the four faces. But I don't want to waste time going over there, getting that clue, and risking all the encounters. As you can see, the encounter rate in this floor pretty high, and a lot of the monsters are those red and blue eaters. So you have that dead end room right up there. Just going back to Dragon Quest III, where it has 15 and 16 chance of an random encounter when you make a transition screen. So now the monsters are all gone, we can get the Royal Cloak, Bean's best armor. It protects him against magic and breath attacks. The Zenithian armor will do the same thing. That's Cosmo's best armor. Unfortunately, you won't get that for another dungeon or two. You have to finish this dungeon and then another dungeon. And then the last dungeon in the real world here, the world of humans, is where we'll get that Zenithian armor. Luckily, you get it right at the beginning. So, there's that little clue that says, basically cover the 4 faces and you get the mantle. And now we're going to head back to the beginning. After we get this last bit of treasure, the demon hammer. Like I said, has like 1/3 chance to miss, 1/3 chance to do a regular hit, and then 1/3 chance to critical. So we're going to give it to Sancho, even though it's a slightly weaker than the Zeus's spear. But those critical hits, the chance to have a critical hit, more than make up for it. Too bad we don't get any good helmets and shields for Sancho for a while. And we can just head on out. The cave isn't that bad, but now that there's no random encounters. That dead end is just over to the left if we would have went south and left. That would take us to that staircase to the dead end room. See, as long as the faces remain covered. Now, if we, of course, leave this dungeon and come back, then, of course, the stones will reset. But as long as you stay in the dungeon, you're fine. There's no reason for us to actually come back here. The enemies don't really give it that great experience, and once again, you can't gain experience with the people outside in the wagon. So when you want to level up, you want to level up in a place where the wagon is available, because that way everybody is getting the experience. Let's use our magic carpet. We're gonna go equip Pippin. Get him his good stuff. And we'll get rid of some bean stuff in the depository here. He's lugging around quite a bit of things. We could probably get rid of that magic carpet if we wanted to. You can keep it for the demon world, but yeah, now that we have the Zenithian castle, we don't really need the magic carpet to fly around with. But I'll just keep it just for the keeping it. Want to make sure you keep that grappling hook though. That'll be very important. It's necessary to get through the next dungeon, the Tower of Babel. Which we were told about when we got the Zenithian castle to fly. That old man said, hey, you gotta go to the northeast to a tower. So we'll get Harriet the Zeus's spear. She will be joining us in the next dungeon. We'll be taking, since we had Cosmo and Sancho here, we'll take Harriet and Pippin to the next dungeon. And the fairy sword, not as good as I thought it would be, because though it casts increase spell, unlike the increase spell that, say, the sun casts, the increase spell that the fairy sword casts only casts on the user of the fairy sword. So it doesn't give the bonus to everybody. Alright, so clean up my inventory here. Just checking out what if there's anything else I can give up. Nope. Once again, we give the Staff of Benediction to Pippin. That way he can be a healer in battle. So I did have something to give back here. The Elven Medicine. That's a good heal, but we'll save it for the end game. I do have some medical herbs to just do some healing here. 30 medals. Now we can exchange them for the Falcon Sword. As you can see, it's better than Pippin's Slumber Sword. It won't put enemies to sleep like the Slumber Sword, but that wasn't really happening much anyway. It seemed to have a very low success rate. We'll give Pippin that sword. That'll allow him to attack twice. And we also want to give Pippin some new armor, and Barongo some new armor as well. And that is available here in the Fairy Village. Unfortunately, we didn't have enough money to buy all this stuff when we actually came here, but now we do. We can sell some of this old equipment. Bean get rid of his magical armor. Pippin can get rid of his magical armor and his dragon shield. He can sell his old slumber sword. Barongo will get rid of his silver breastplate. And he'll get the flying water cloth. Flame armor and flame shield will go to Pippin. Absolutely want to equip it now. And then we'll buy, like I said, the flying water cloth for Barongo. That'll help him out. Also give him some defense against breath attacks. There we go. Absolutely, we want to sell some of this old equipment so we can afford that shield now. The breastplate. And then we'll sell Pippin's shield so that he can get the flame shield. Slightly better than the dragon shield. There we go. So that Sword of Slumber as well. And that'll should be able to also buy Bean a flame shield then. Flame shield 1. Going to Pippin. There we go. Like I said, this will all help out because the next dungeon has a few bosses in it. And it's quite long. Luckily, you can leave the dungeon. There is the entrance to the dungeon is right at the beginning, but it's locked. So it's another one of those dungeons where you can go through the dungeon like halfway, open the door, and then that way you can leave and return easily. But Shield of Strength, that would be probably even better for a Bean. Well, looks like we can't afford that extra flame shield, but that's okay. Bean getting quite a good boost from the royal cloak that he just got. So I said we're gonna pass some stuff down. Pippin get a good boost on that falcon sword. Like I said, give him the staff of benediction to be a healer, and we'll give Harriet the Zeus's spear, so that she can, if she runs low on magic, she can also use that to attack. She also has like the flame and snow type spells, so this will also allow her to use the lightning based spells. So yeah, sadly we can't, what should we call it, use the outside and return spell in here, so we're just gonna have to trek out. But luckily we already met all the monsters in here, so we can just off-screen all the battles. A little bit of time. The fairy forest isn't that long. One last battle. We are out. Now I'm just going to return. We could return back to Santa Rosa to get the Zenithian Castle again. But between episodes, I just want to check out the depository, check out how everything's going. So I figured I'd just stop right here. And that way there's a depository quick by, and between episodes I could just check out, mark off on my sheet the items that I want in the depository. Like all the single-use items or you can only find in a treasure chest or special type items. I want to make sure I get them all, so we'll just save our game here. That way it's easy to check on that. And next episode we'll go back to Santa Rosa, pick up the Zenithian Castle, and head to the Tower of Babel, where we're going to be looking for the Dragon God's sealed power. So, but like I said, we're not the only ones who are going to be looking for that power. Some bosses who we know from the past will be there to welcome us. Take care, have a good one, see you then. Bye.